Hey guys, so in one of my previous videos, I was talking about the self-development books, right? Where I was saying that they're actually not good for us and things like that. Actually, God gave me a very interesting and good revelation about these self-development books and what they are, and also how people sort of end up reading them, right? Because there's so many of them out there right now. So basically, faith is so important to us for so many reasons. Like it's our everything, right? Because otherwise, we're lost, right? But I want to give you this example of a person. Say, they were, born into this environment where there isn't like anyone who would be like really, passionate believer, right? Passionate follower, where they follow Jesus in everything, right? And so they're, taught things about Christianity, and so they would go to church from time to time, as a tradition, as something that everyone does, but they just don't have this example of being like like real passionate believer, right? Where they see God in everything all the time, all day long. And but they're still a good person, right? They're happy, they're enjoying their life, they're doing their thing, right? Not bothering anyone, just doing their thing. And say this person has a talent, right? This person can draw, and so they're drawing, they're enjoying their day, right? And so suddenly, say a narcissistic person appears in this person's life. So what happens? First of all, narcissistic people, they have to be on top of everything. Because they believe that they have to be number one in everything, but that number one is very twisted kind of number one, because that number one like is really just like being on top, like forcefully. And also they're very like lacking their self-confidence too. Oh yeah, so I forgot to mention that faith really gives you a lot of self-confidence, because your faith comes from God, your who you are comes from God, and your self-confidence comes from God simply because you trust in Him, and it doesn't matter what other people say or think, because God comes first. But this is a whole different topic, right? It's actually very, very powerful. So this narcissist, right? Narcissists, they are not self-confident at all, because they're far from God. It's as simple as that. And also God gave me this revelation. I asked him, like, so can narcissists be changed? Can they change? Or, what is this? Like, is it irreversible? And God said that it's just spirits, it's just demons that need to be cast out. But, the thing is that when we're casting out demons, we also need God, and faith is very important, because demons will not want to leave, and they will want to try and come back, and then there's this whole spiritual fight. So the person needs to be willing to go through this, right? So then again, I'm jumping to go back to what I was saying, that this narcissist that appears in that person's life, and they see that, hey, that person is just drawing their pictures and they're just enjoying their life, they are not gonna like it, because first of all, they're gonna probably be jealous of that talent that the person has, and they will feel threatened by it, so they will want to kind of destroy it. And also, that happiness that the person has, they will not like it, so they will want to destroy that too. And by destroying like these things, the narcissist will sort of feel that they're on top, feel that they're better. Narcissist is actually a worldly term, narcissists is like usually like Jezebel spirits. I guess there are like narcissistic demons, like spirits like that too. But the thing is, it's demons, it's spirits, because narcissists also go through a trauma, and like these spirits, they enter through a trauma. And hence people think that they just behave this way, this is just how they are, when in fact that's not how they are. That's just spirits that make them feel and think that that's how they are, because they're so like deceptive, like they literally hide within a person and then they appear, whatever, to just destroy something for that person. But yeah, it's spiritual. Like these things, if they're cast out, like they're gone, they're not coming back. But you need to be with God, right? So yeah, like I was saying, so what happens, narcissists are really, like, I wouldn't say good, but they do strip people's confidence away very much strongly, so much that the person may actually give up their talent. They may actually give up on their dreams, give up on doing their thing. And also the narcissist will like twist their worldview, twist their reality into like seeing things in the wrong way, like in their twisted way, because that's how they control you too, right? They gaslight you, they make you question your reality, they give you insecurities and all that. And if the person is not strongly with God, then this is where he or she may fall into this deception, and this is when people may start looking into these self-development books, because they start thinking like, hey, there's something wrong with them, that hey, they need to work on something, right? And so they start reading these books, and it's like they find something there, because there's so much advice, there's so much information out there, there's so many books out there. You can literally start a library with those self-development books, but it's like it's never ending cycle. It's always a search for improvement, but it's not even permanent, and it doesn't like change you. Like in reality, you're still the same. You're just in illusion that something's happening, that something's changing, when in fact those books are not really doing anything, because they're all materialistic, not materialistic, they're all based on material world, right? And they're all about like theories and thinking, but spiritual things are spiritual, and like traumas and things that are on the soul level can only be healed by God. Only He knows how to heal each and every person, because everyone's so different and every trauma is different. Like no trauma is the same. How can you apply the same formula from the same one book to so many different people who just have so many different life stories? It's not the same. No one's ever the same. So there you go. And then the person kind of falls into this trap of these self-development books. But what God said, like, there's nothing wrong with them from the start. There's nothing wrong with them even when they meet the narcissist. Like, they're still wonderful, they're still great, just the way God made them. And they don't need to prove themselves to anyone. They don't need to read those books. They don't need to look for things that are wrong with them, because there's nothing wrong with anyone. Everyone's wonderful and perfect, just the way God intended. But what they need to do, they need to come to God and just be themselves with God and through God. It's as simple as that. And all these books is just deception and illusion. What are you improving? Even if you are yourself, and God is the one who's healing you. God is the only one who can make you whole and complete. And it's true that a lot of people in the world that it is right now go through a lot of trauma in all kinds of situations, at home, at school. There's a lot of kind of things that may happen to a person. But good news is that what I really need to do is just come to God and be healed, and you know, this is where your confidence and everything comes in, and you can again just do your thing, and you'll forget all that deception that the narcissist may have given you. You know, thing with the narcissist is that they also see things in a very twisted way. They constantly think, like, they judge by themselves, right? So they think that if this is how they treat people, that others treat them the same way. And for them it's hard to imagine that someone, you know, does not treat them the same way, that someone does not think the same way that they do, right? Because not everyone is the same, and they don't realize, you know, this thing. It's just like same for people who are like empaths, right? They also tend to judge by themselves in the beginning, and this is where they struggle with narcissists. This is when they learn about narcissists, and then they realize, oh, okay, not everyone is the same. So it goes the same way with narcissists. And so, you know, if they are the ones exploiting other people, for example, I use a very strong word, but that's how it is sometimes, or when they're like destroying someone, or, you know, coming at someone, they think that others do the same. They think that others are coming at them. They think that others want to, you know, use them or do something to them, when that's not the case. So that's how it is, you know, it gets twisted. So this is where we need God, because with God, like, all things become clear, and all things become like solved, and, you know, great. And yeah, so don't touch those self-development books, because they're actually a trap, and they're actually more damaging than they're helping, because you are in a trap of like searching for, you know, your problem, which doesn't even exist in the first place. But then you start believing that you have a problem, and then, you know, it's just like never-ending cycles. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you in this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.